Hello, everybody. Hi, how are you? I apart from getting the Nevada residency, I was obviously looking to escape the cold weather of the very cold winter in Minnesota and become a resident of these sunnier and slightly warmer areas. Well, slightly a lot warmer areas. I am on my way to Quartzsite because in mid January there will be a convention of nomads there uh, that is organized by Bob Wells and Homes of Wheels Alliance. So I am hoping I will be able to join them for several days for conversations and learning, and I will share with you many of those. But before leaving Paramp, I wanted to visit the at least the three areas that came to my mind, thinking these are relevant and they are very close. So one of the areas, the one I will show you today, is the Hoover Dam. I am not particularly crazy about dams just because they scare the living hell out of me. And I will show you different parts of it. But it amazed me from the get-go, from the minute I was entering the greater area around the dam. There are so many things that tell you about the importance of this construction. When you're about to enter the park around the dam, there are controls there. There are people guarding the entrance. And they made me step out of the van and open the doors and show them what I was carrying with me in my van. Good morning.
Can I have you pull over to the far right, please, so they can just get a clear picture of what you got? You're a little packed in the back there.
Sure.
Yeah, right where those guys are at.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Hi. Of course.
Any guns, miss?
No.
Yeah, we just gotta take a better look in the back. Would you mind?
Of course.
Out, opening the back?
Nope. I have been camping. Super nice people, very kind, very courteous, very professional, but they do check what you get, what you have there. because then it hit me. Of course, I mean, any terrorist may want to make it a target, so they protect it. They protect the whole place, and that moved me. That, to begin with, that moved me. So then I went inside, and from the parking space, from the parking lot they have, you walk just about a block or so to the visitor center. And if you take the time to go downstairs, there are some stairs that you can take from the street all the way down. Then you have to go through extra security, like in an airport. There is a conveyor belt and baskets. You put all your things there. They go through the machine. You go through an arc that, I don't know, checks that you don't have weapons or anything like that. They really take it seriously, which is great. I appreciated that. I didn't know about that part, and it's good. It's a good feel to know that you're at such important place. And then inside, you have two theaters where you can see lots of footage and explanations of how it was built and everything. Then you have a small kind of museum showing excavation machines and many other things that are relevant to the story. In the first theater, they explained to us the way it was built, the way the dam was built. The idea was to have enough water to distribute between several states, so there were no disputes about the use of water. And of course, having the electric production was a plus. So there was so much money involved in that several business people had to come together to foot the bill. And the works terminated like months before the estimated date and under budget. That amazed me again, because nowadays we know nothing stays on budget and on the timeline that was promised. So amazing. And the other amazing thing is they were able to do that because it was just during the Great Depression. So people were coming to this area because they knew there was work, and so they were coming to work there, and they would work 24/7 because it was the only way to make some money on those days. The amounts people made are something we cannot understand today. Probably if they prorated that to our currency today, they would make some sense, but it didn't sound like it was much. And besides, some accommodations were provided for the families, and it was not comfortable. Those people were in poor conditions, but they needed a job and they worked. And because there were no work regulations, they worked hard. Today, with all the regulations in place and unions and you name it, it wouldn't be possible to make it in such a short time with just lots of workers that gave everything of themselves to help build the dam. The other curious thing about the construction itself was this. They had to divert the Colorado River And for that, they built 4 tunnels that they dug through the rocks. And so, because they were going to make the river flow through the tunnels downstream. That way they could work in the center of the river, building up the dam. To this day, the water is retained by the dam, but if they need to let it flow downstream, the water comes out of those 4 tunnels still, because it was never intended for the water to pass through the dam. The dam is a block of solid material. The water flows through those 4 tunnels on the mountains, through the mountains on the sides of the dam. The way they started making those tunnels, it was amazing. There was one guy with one ladder that he would put there, climb, and then drill a few holes, put some dynamite sticks, get out of there. The explosion opened up the space a little bit. Then the guy would come with the ladder again and drill some more holes. It would have taken forever. But the point is, they came up with a contraction, a machine with many drills that would go through the opening and drill many holes at a time. And it was built just for that. So it was kind of a new innovation, just like improvisational, just for that. Because otherwise the poor guy with the ladder and the drill, he was not going to make too much progress. Once the tunnels were dug, they had to line them up with concrete so the water could flow there and not erode the rocks, so they could protect the actual opening for the centuries to come. And then they were able to start building the dam once the Colorado River was displaced onto the tunnels. Now, they had to, before the entrance of the tunnels, they had to fill up the level, so to push the water up a little bit to go through the tunnels. And then the construction of the dam began. For that, they would clear an area, a relatively small area, and they would dump some concrete there. I don't remember, one of those containers, it was every 76 seconds there was one and another and another and another. And then there were a few men there just spreading it out and making it firm and everything, but they couldn't do more than a few inches at a time. So to the question many people ask about whether anyone died and was buried there, no, it was impossible. Because, I mean, you can see the photo of those guys standing up on the fresh concrete there. It was more solid than normal. So yeah, nobody can go through and fall. The problem is they had to put enough concrete to build a block, and then another block next to that, and another block, and another block, and another block. And when those were dry, they would start building other blocks on top of that. So it was a huge Lego construction thing. But it happens that they calculated that all that material was not going to cool down in more than 100 years. It was to stay warm inside, and they needed it to be solid and cold. So they had to put pipes inside of those blocks, and they had to run cold water through those pipes to cool down those giant blocks. And the blocks started to build up until they were able to actually form the dam. For those who are interested in how things are made, I think this is a very interesting process. And just research a little bit more. I think it is fascinating. And so, yes, some people died during the construction because of the dynamite or because they fell or things like that. And I was impressed by the headlines of the newspapers, the way they announced that those people died. So here we have some images of that. And after seeing that first presentation of the dam, they take you to the next door theater where there is another presentation, but in a more personal way. So the ranger, the guard that is there, they give you more information and they answer your questions. Since nobody wanted to go there, I was the only one. So this amazingly nice lady, she was my guide and she gave me so much information. It was beautiful. So after that, I went up and to the dam, and I couldn't lean forward to look down because I couldn't. It is extremely impressive. There is a beautiful little art presentation where the flag is. Surprisingly, lots of constellations and stars are there on the ground with metal decorations. Impressive how they paid attention to all those lights, looking at them from above. And there is a bridge that is absolutely stunning. Many people were going there to walk the bridge. People look like little ants up there on that bridge. I couldn't go there. I just took a photo of the bridge to show you, but I am sorry, I cannot walk that high bridge, and even less drive across, along the bridge to the other side. I couldn't. So sorry about not being able to give you that little adrenaline rush, but I couldn't take it, so sorry. Beautiful place. I hope you liked the video. If you are in the area, yes, do take time and go visit. Take your time. There is a lot of information to be learned, and all of it is interesting. So thank you for being here. If you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up, share the video with someone else, subscribe to the channel. See you very soon. Thank you.